Great call. Two-play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Poole, touchdown. Red flag.
Third down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. Of this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
Today. Just one the other way. It's still going back. At the track. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? I am Michael Carasino. Welcome into Friday's quick edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yeah, it's been a morning. It has been a morning, nonetheless. But anywho, yes, I am Michael Carasino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. As you guys know, yes, don't be bashful. You can see the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. I know you know that. You can also check it out on the wonderful IG at michael.carasino.5. And yes, guys, you know it, the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube again because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, a wonderful athletic director who, again, will be back on. And you can, obviously check that all out. But anything you miss, you can get caught up on there. Ooh, yep, gotta see the pass run. It is Friday. You guys know this. So yes, again, you can check it all out. But that being said, anything you miss, you can binge watch season 1, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3. Don't stop watching. And then obviously, as you get further into season 1 and then season 2, you'll be like, oh, hey, yeah, they talked to so-and-so here and so-and-so there. And that was, different. And that was a continuation because that's what, we love to do here on Pitchfork Lunch. So yeah, I mean, you can get all caught up and so go to YouTube. I know you guys know how to get there. Um, yes. So my point is, go to YouTube, subscribe, watch it all, get caught up, and you will be, again, extremely happy. But yes, that is one way to look at it, because you can get all caught up on everything. And the stellar part is, once you're caught up, you'll be like, oh, now we get it. Now we love jumping in Sun Devil Nation, going around it here on Pitchfork Lunch. But anyway, let's get through it quick. Soccer last night, man, it was a insanely crazy game, due to the fact that for Coach Winkworth, Oklahoma State, and I did mention yesterday, the Devils had the third, I think I mentioned yesterday, but either way, they were the third least penalized team in the conference, like committing fouls, obviously. So yeah, that there was some frustration there, because Oklahoma State didn't have just 3 injuries, had 5 injuries, and chose to park the bus, as they call it. And like I said last night, if you saw me tweet it, you Ted Lasso fans can explain that to your maybe not so in tuned soccer fans, Sun Devil soccer fans, or just soccer fans in general. So yes, they parked the bus and they had injuries, and yeah, they had a few opportunities, but man, so many. There was quite a few, 28 shots total for the Devils, but only 9 were on frame, so on goal. So again, that's a little low, little frustrating, but again, they made adjustments. We're going to hear from Coach Winkworth and Peyton Marcise and Grace Gillard. But yeah, Oklahoma State parked the bus, had no interest, and you'll coach will talk about it. I'm not gonna tell you what coach, he was asked about it, but regurgitate what coach says. But we're gonna hear from Coach Winkworth right now. We're gonna get rolling right away with it, since I got off to a little bit of a teeny bit late of a start, but nonetheless, yeah, they parked the bus and 0-0 draw. Taylor Thompson took another penalty kick, and this one actually was saved, and it was saved twice by Oklahoma State's goalie. Played a hell of a game. She saved it, gave up the rebound. Thompson came in and just tried to drive it and a little bit above her, and she's able to get her hand up, gives up another rebound, and that shot goes way over the crossbar. Definitely could have been put in, but nonetheless, that did not happen. So, but yeah, also, volleyball is in Kansas. Don't forget, 5 p.m. ESPN Plus. They are taking on the Jayhawks. And football tonight, obviously, TCU is here. It's a Friday night game. The Friday Night Lights again. Parking, if you're checking this out, pass parking opens up in about 22 minutes at 1 o'clock. And then paid parking opens up at 2:30. So again, don't be bashful. Also, it was awesome today too. 50 years of women's basketball was celebrated, and yes, unfortunately, that's not why I'm starting late, because I was unable to make it out. But just in I'll get more into that as women's hoop season gets closer. But yeah, a lot of alum were there, and obviously the team coaches, players, Coach Miller, but alum were there, and just again, awesome event that went on today. So as I hear more from that, we will definitely share that. Anywho, though, yes, let's get right to it, though. Coach Winkworth is up first. We're going to hear from him again. A 0-0 draw, still undefeated. So again, haven't haven't lost. But yeah, Oklahoma State with their injuries parked the bus, did a decent job of it. But ASU, again, lots of opportunities. But let's hear from Coach Winkworth again. Little flustered after the game because of it, but at the same time, knowing his team obviously made the adjustments and played a sound game. So here is Coach Winkworth after last night's draw.
Disrespects the team that parks the bus, because it's part of soccer. We've just got to do a better job to break that bus down.
And you talked about Oklahoma State keeping it 0-0, earning that tie. How were they able to frustrate your offense and keep you guys out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our wingers have been having a lot of success all season. Tonight they stopped that by playing a very deep 5-4-1, and so there was no space. We needed to have more runners getting in behind from other areas, and we didn't really do a good job of that today.
Coach, obviously both goalkeepers played a really great match. Talk about, not only what you saw from our side, but theirs as well.
Yeah, I know. I think Pauli played a good game. I'm not sure she had too much to do. He had a couple of very easy saves that she makes all day long. But their goalkeeper, fantastic. Saved a penalty. I think the save after the penalty was even better, though. Congratulations to her, because I'd be voting for her for goalkeeper of the week this week because she was phenomenal.
And then you guys kind of have had an identity that was scoring early and in the first half of your message. What will be your message to the offense moving forward?
Just continue to do the same as what we've been doing. I mean, only one team tried to win that game of soccer, and we had 28 attempts. And so on another day we might have scored 4 goals. We don't normally, we're going to have we've got penalties. We've got loads of chances. When we look back at the expected goals of that game, it's going to be like 4-0. So again, I can't be frustrated with how we were playing offensively because we've had so many chances to win the game. We just got to do better in front of the sticks.
Your defense really was the strength of last game last week. What do you think? How do you think they've continued to control the field and give confidence to their player that their back line is strong?
Yeah, I thought the centre backs did a great job. Basically playing like quarterbacks in controlling the game. And again, they didn't really have too much to do defensively. We tried to throw the game away a little bit by committing too many needless fouls, but outside of that, Oklahoma State really didn't look like scoring goals.
Although it was a 0-0 game, what were some positives you took away that you can bring up?
Again, if teams are respecting us enough to play that way, then we've come a very, very long way. And if we're out shooting teams 28 to 6, then we're going to do it. The problem here is that we've had 28 shots and only 9 of them have gone on target. That's the problem tonight.
You've been eliminating the top scorers from other teams. The only leading scorer to have scored against you guys this year was UTEP with Quintero. How have you guys been able to take away the other team's star players?
Honestly, we haven't really been focusing on their star players. We've been focusing us on more. So it's good that we've got good enough defenders where we don't necessarily target one player for the opposition, because whether it's on Grace's side or Faz's side or Katie's in and it's her side, they're good enough to deal with. All of them are good enough to deal with it. So it means we can focus on playing our way a little bit and not have to change our shape. So that's congratulations to the girls on that, because we don't necessarily focus on one player for the opposition unless somebody comes in who's like, the next Mia Hamm's out here, then that would be different.
Coach, what impact did penalties have tonight with creating offensive momentum for you guys?
I don't think it really changed too much. We continue to create chances. We just didn't put them away. And so, it was unfortunate we missed those chances around penalty kick, but that's part of soccer, and she'll score the next one and we'll move on. But unfortunately, it was a key moment tonight.
And Coach, you're saying, obviously, they parked the bus. It seemed like second half, though, you made quite a few adjustments in getting the ball, maybe more through the middle. It seemed like they were really laying off your center backs. What did you see? What did you make adjustment-wise? What did you see from them? Because it seemed like the center of the field was really pretty open.
Yeah, with them only playing once, it was a 5-4-1, so with them only playing one forward and with us playing in the build, we were able to get centre backs. I mean, there was one point, Grace is overlapping over here in the corner of the pitch, and when your centre back is overlapping in the corner of the pitch, then we can't commit any more numbers. I mean, there's nobody left on the pitch unless Pauli starts doing it, and she might one day, so I don't want to put that in her mind.
You talk a little bit more about those saves on the penalty kick at the end of the first half. You certainly think Tatum had a goal there?
Say again, sorry.
You talk a little bit more about that, those saves at the end of the first half on the penalty kick.
Keeper did a wonderful job. Saved the first one, but like I said earlier, the second save was even better. Phenomenal save, and then we had a third chance, and we probably should have put that on target. That was the problem. 9 shots on target from 28 attempts. That's the problem today.
Your offense continuously had lots of individual amazing skill on the ball, trying to do 1v1s, beating them very consistently. How will you move forward to really connect those big plays into executing a goal?
Just practice. We just got to get out there and practice. We have a finishing day. Usually most weeks we have a day where all we do is score goals, and you got to remember we've got Mickey out. She's a very creative player. We've got our star centre forward out all season. She's played 28 minutes this season. So I think the girls are doing a phenomenal job to create chances. They've just got to be more clinical in front of goal, and hopefully we can get some bodies back healthy as the season goes on.
Throughout the season, you've talked about resting defense. What does that mean?
It means when we're attacking, what our structure looks like back here. So like what does our defenders are, and then the next line in front. So there's usually 2 lines. So our resting defense often looks like 3 and then 2 in front. So it might be Nora Faz Grace, and then Peyton and Izzy Monk sitting in front. So as we play and we create chances, but then we lose the ball and they clear it, we go again, and it's trying to keep the momentum of attacking. After an attack comes to an end, they clear it, we go again, and it's trying to keep the wave of attacking going.
Blundell played some last game and didn't play today.
Yeah, she picked up another knock, unfortunately, so we don't know when she's going to be back. Cool.
Like offensive play, where do you think it just went wrong in the play? Because, like you said, you had 28 shots on goal.
Yeah, I will say what I said about shots on frame. I think we could have had more. You can't expect to win a game with 28 shots and I think only 9 on frame, something like that. I'll also say that Oklahoma showed up and parked the bus on us. It was like a 5-4-1, and that is very difficult to play against, especially this early in the season, in the second game of conference. So I think that's something that we need to adapt to when teams start scouting what's working for us. And, on the fly, what can we do? What can we change? I mean, I think we did that pretty well, but again, shots on frame, things like that, staying calm in front of the goal.
What's the biggest change that will be made or talked about in the locker room going into Sunday's game?
I think it's difficult because we're so sad about a tie and we're still undefeated. I think what we just talked about is, watching film, doing a little bit extra, what's not working, and what I also mentioned, things that are working for us, teams are going to start figuring out. So going to practice and trying new things on the attack, and then cleaning up the little things, shots on frame like I mentioned, second balls in the air, playing against teams like this, big teams that boot the ball and park the bus is different than our style of play. So just trying to play against those types of teams will help us.
And then in the second,
go ahead.
I was going to say in the second half when you guys, Coach, obviously, you're talking about parking the bus, but made adjustments. It seemed like attacking more up the middle, like middles could come up even more. I know, like you said, it is frustrating, 28 shots, only 9 on frame, but if teams are going to copy that, there's a lot of fire going at the team's goalie, though.
Yeah, I will say that was what we changed, trying to go through the middle because it wasn't working over. With their 5 in the back, we're used to playing it over to our outside forwards and trying to be dangerous there, and it wasn't really clicking for us. So trying to go attacking to the middle, having our 9 come drop in, or 10 go higher, things like that was something that we tried to adapt and so we got a little bit flustered and couldn't just finish the attack.
How much stress does their nature of playing the long balls, the directness, put on you guys in the midfield from a second balls perspective and trying to keep the tempo at your pace?
I think it's definitely stressful, but I will say for this type of game, we could tell that their mindset was not coming to win. They wanted a tie. I could hear them on the field talking, their coaches, and you could see how long their goalie was holding the ball. Like, they were not trying to score, they were not trying to win this game. So I think, in a sense, it kind of calmed me down, at least in midfield, because they were going long, and it's like, okay, well, are they going to try to actually be dangerous, or is it just kind of they're trying to waste time? So that's different, but usually it is stressful. I will say I'm not super tall, so I don't have that much of an advantage, but I use my brain as much as I can, and that has taken me far-ish.
In a game like that, when you have all the ball, when you have all the possession in the middle part, is it more about being patient or is it more about applying pressure and trying to force the ball up there so you can keep them bunkered in?
I would say it's more patience because they want us to be flustered with all of them standing in front of me, basically all 10, 11 of their players. So when we move the ball from side to side, they want me to try to force the ball over, force to keep trying something because our attack wasn't really working. So yeah, I would say patience is what they want, but then we did it back to them and they would just try to boot it over, and that was good for us because they weren't being patient, and then they would just turn the ball over basically every play.
Besides shots, lower shots on goal, what are some positives you can take away for Sunday's match?
We got 4 points in conference so far. We're still undefeated. We had a lot of, like you said, a lot of shots on goal. So I would say it's just keeping our heads up. I mean, it's been 10 games in season and we haven't lost, and you never know when that's going to come. And I think how we respond this week will say a lot for how our team will continue throughout the rest of the season. Yeah.
Not just today, but throughout the whole season, you guys have been keeping the opposition's top scorers out of the goal. How are you guys able to minimize the impact of the stars?
I would say a lot of film. Again, seeing what works for them and how we can minimize that. And also, soccer is a mental sport. Like, you can get in their head, not talking, but, you know, little fouls and things like that. Like, it's part of the sport, being physical, not letting them get in front of you, things like that. And that's honestly worked a lot for us.
And then some nights, I mean, obviously Tatum's taken PKs and had a solid season so far. I mean, the back-to-back saves that their goalie made when they're playing the style that they are, making saves like that, what does that kind of do to, not that it brings up, but what does that do to morale after like a big penalty save like that?
I would say it was difficult because that wasn't our only chance on goal. We had so many, so I think we kept having that same feeling, like, oh, a corner and then almost a header and almost a shot, and like you could hear the crowd, oh wow, like every time it was like so close to scoring. So I think just trying to finish our chances next game and every single chance we get, not just like those big ones.
After a night like tonight, what's Graham's talk in the locker room to you guys? Like, is it looking back on the game, looking forward, or what is it like?
I think he's happy that we're a little bit upset from a tie. That shows the standard that our team has. But again, just focusing on the fact that we're undefeated, 4 points in conference so far, and I would say also controlling what we can control, move on to the next game, fixing the little things, like I said, in these next couple days, and really wanting it will help us be successful against these big teams.
Tonight, you guys put up a lot of shots that didn't quite score, but also defensively, you were able to limit the opposition's shots. How do you guys do that?
I think with our mentality, look, we came out, we wanted to win that game, there's no way we wanted to tie it, so I think we were just ruthless, we kept going for the whole 90, unfortunately we weren't able to score, but it was the same mentality the other way, we wanted to keep a clean sheet, we haven't kept one in the last couple of games, so that was definitely a goal of ours, was to keep a clean sheet today.
You guys kind of have had your bread and butter this year on early goals, early in the half. First, this is the only match you've had without a first half goal, and there wasn't any goals at all. What was kind of the thoughts at halftime from an offensive perspective when, you know, this is the first time you really had them strike early in a game?
I think we weren't going to panic. Yeah, I think we still created our chances and we weren't going to panic yet. Look, the game's 90 minutes. If we finish in the first 45, we've still got another 45 left. So it's nice that we've scored in the first 45 of the other games, but there's still a whole other half to play. So we weren't panicking yet, but like I said, we had our chances, but just weren't able to put them away.
What is the message in the changing room at halftime and after a first half like that, which felt a little bit frustrating or slow for you guys?
We come up against sort of a different press. They had their 5 at the back kind of, and it was something that we've not come up against before. So it was just little tweaks here and there, keep doing what we were doing, keep finding each other, and then just trying to be creative, find a different way to play from how we normally were.
Graham's talked a lot about resting defense. How are you guys able to implement that tonight and then throughout the season?
I think today we were really switched on, like Nora, Kets were the main ones back there, just making sure every time we came up for a corner, reinforcing the message, making sure we switched on back here, and I think they dealt with it really well.
And then also throughout this whole season, you've been keeping their star players from scoring goals. How do you focus on taking out that top scorer?
Just do our job, really. I mean, me and Faz back there, Katie came on as well. We know who our player is, and we just keep an eye on her the whole 90 minutes and just do what we can to stop her from scoring.
When they're playing a style like that, I mean, I know obviously first half, second half, coach said that, I mean, obviously more attacking down the middle. I mean, you came up pretty deep too. I mean, to overstate the obvious, I know it's frustrating when you don't put a goal in, but that many attempts. But I mean, if other teams are going to do this, I got to think they don't really want that much fire coming at their goalie.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing. It was I think they were looking to get the tie today, and we wanted the win, so we weren't going to stop. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get one. But like I said, it was just doing different things to what we normally do. Me stepping in or finding somebody else instead of finding who we normally find. And we weren't able to do it, but we tried our best, so that's all we can take.
What do you think was done well to make those connections or the offense to get those good individual one-on-ones? But then what do you think would be better to actually execute those in basketball?
I think it's the end piece. I mean, I had a couple chances tonight. We had a lot of set pieces. We had a lot of sort of bouncing balls and things like that. And it's just taking the ownership to put them in the back of the net. I mean, like I said, I could have buried a header today and I didn't. And it's like we look back on those moments, we go back to practice and we work on those things. So I think that's what we can do, is just work on it.
When you go from a game like this, where the team is negative and you have a lot of the ball and they're kind of giving you the opportunity to break them down, to a game like Sunday against a UCF team that is pretty much like you guys, wants to play, wants to score, wants to create. What's the mentality shift that's going to have to take place over the next couple of days?
We're really excited for another opportunity. I mean, they're a top team in this league, like we've been saying. Graham's been saying, this league is anyone's to take. And I think we just go back, we'll look at film for this game, we'll work on what we need to work on, and then go on Sunday and we'll come out all guns blazing here again.
Even with the 0-0 game, were there any players to highlight today?
I think
there you go. Coach Winkworth, Peyton Marcise, Grace Gillard, all talking there and about, the fight. You can just hear the frustration, obviously, about parking the bus. And like Coach Winkworth said, when you're down that many players, and they did have some opportunities. Oklahoma State took some, but overall, playing the 5 and back, they try to hit. Believe me, in the first half, they were not bashful about, as we know, Devils fans going down the wings. Alison Baltadano, obviously, on one side, and then Cam Valladares on the other side. And even Cam, like some of the passes were a little bit short, but even like when they sent down, like the defender was like very tight marked on her, just because, like, again, 5 and back, you have another defender sagging right there. So, it made it was a little frustration. And then coach he screamed across the field because they were committing some ticky-tack, and some of them shouldn't have been, whatever. Having played the game, they shouldn't have been called. But either way, some fouls, no yellow cards. There were yellow cards on Oklahoma State, though. But, so they parked the bus. The Devils, the draw, that's that. So USF on or UCF, pardon, not SF, UCF on Sunday, 1 p.m. Again, no reason not to get out there. Let's go. Let's get out there. They still have not lost, this team. So, yes, but football tonight, guys, 6 p.m. is kickoff, as you know, at wonderful Mountain America Stadium. And the Devils, again, taking on TCU. 1-0 in conference play, looking to go 2-0. And like I told you yesterday, man, they have a tough matchup. Josh Hoover, again, another solid quarterback. Seeing Sawyer Robertson last week, obviously Saturday, in Waco, the Baylor quarterback who leads the Big 12 in passing yards of 1,320, like I told you so. And then you have Baron Morton, Texas Tech quarterback, who we saw last year, who we'll see in a few weeks. He's second with 1,065. Josh Hoover, TCU, he is third, 1,000 yards on the nose passing so far this season. They are 3-0 in 3 games. So, yes, 333 yards a game. You guys I know you can figure that one out. But Raleek Brown, second in the conference in rushing, 372 yards through 4 games for Raleek Brown. And, he did have back-to-back 100-yarders in there. A little short of 100 last week, but still a very, very solid game. And he's at 372 for the Devils. And Jordan Tyson leading the Big 12 in reception yardage at 357. Eric McAllister, though, of TCU. So, again, a big, receivers. Granted, they're obviously, as we know, not guarding each other. You always hear players say that, coaches say that, players say that. We're talking about the same position, but huge receiver matchup there between Jordan Tyson and Eric McAllister of TCU. Again, Tyson with 357 yards receiving, and McAllister second behind him at 320. So, the Devils in 4 games. Tyson has another big night. So, I mean, it's, again, defensively, look, this is the thing. I think that Texas Tech's, TCU's pass defense, when I was looking at it, I think it's almost last. As a team. You look at yards allowed, and TCU is allowing 1,059 yards a game, 300 or a total 350, 1,059. That would be very terrible defense. Sorry, 1,059 on the season, but 353 a game, and passing wise, I mean, they've given up 738 yards passing. 246, it's about 250 through the air, and they're giving up 107 yards a game rushing. So, I mean, look, you get over 107, and the Devils are capable of that. But you look at what, again, Jordan Tyson, but how the receivers have been coming along. Obviously, now the tight ends, we've seen Shimon Mateer more in the mix. Look for Kamari Anderson also, and then, I mean, look, receiver wise. Outside of Tyson, Malik McLean, he's had some targets, but I mean, Derek Eusebio blew up last week. So that it's going to be a hell of a game. 6 o'clock again. Park's open, or parking lot is open. Pass parking lot open now, and paid parking lot at 2:30. So, but that is going to do it for this abridged version of Pitchfork Lunch. I will see you Monday with all the reviews: soccer, football, soccer, everything. By the way, Devils win tonight. They win 34-27. That will be the final tonight. 34-27 Devils at Mountain America Stadium, 6 p.m. kickoff. So have a phenomenal rest of your Friday. I will see you Monday, same bad time, same bad channel. And you guys know it. Hashtag our state. Thank you to reigning Big 12 champs women's volleyball, who's at Kansas at 5 p.m. And as always, you guys know it. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Funnel will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Red flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. We're going to chuck this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.